How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Talking Wolves, or welcome back to another match preview today on the channel. We're going to be previewing a very rare Saturday 3 p.m. kickoff as Wolves host Brighton and Hove Albion this coming Saturday. As always, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So let's jump straight into it. Wolves on a really decent run in the league at the moment. If you go and check out our last few fixtures in the Premier League, we're looking okay. We're unbeaten in the last 4 in the league. In the last 5, there's 1 loss, including that obviously loss against Liverpool. But other than that, some really strong form. 2 goalless draws against Manchester United and Leicester, who are sort of 2 of the teams we're battling in the top 6 up against, and 2 wins in our most recent games. A really comfortable win against Norwich and a great win against Spurs as well on Sunday. So Wolves at the moment are on the up, and we're looking in a great position to possibly get into Europe again next season, which would be huge for us as a club. Looking at the league at the moment, we're obviously in 6th place. Tottenham just seem to be on a downward spiral at the moment, don't they? They're sat in 7th with 40 points, and we're 2 points ahead of them. And we're actually on the same amount of points as Manchester United, who've just got a slightly better goal difference than us. But with Chelsea dropping points, Leicester not on great form as well, this is really a chance for Wolves to take the opportunity and try and push those sort of teams. Now, we're only 3 points behind Chelsea, who are in the top 4, which is unbelievable, really. We're 8 points behind Leicester, who were on such a strong run as well, but they just seem to be dropping points like it's going out of fashion as well. So, at the moment, Wolves are on a really, really good form. But you look at Brighton Hove Albion at the moment, they're down there. They are in the relegation battle. They're just 1 point off the relegation zone. Of course, bringing in Graham Potter at the start of the season, and they actually rewarded him with quite a big contract quite early on. When he was first appointed as manager, I was actually quite surprised at that. Obviously, he'd done well abroad. He'd come into Swansea City and not actually got the best league position with them, but obviously did enough to impress many clubs around the country, really, with the style of football that he was trying to get them to play and so on, and some of their results, which obviously forced Brighton to appoint him. And I was actually quite surprised at that, because you can play great football, but at the end of the day, it's a results business. I was quite surprised that Graham Potter got that appointment, but he seemed to be doing okay. But more recently, they just haven't been getting the results. Their goal difference isn't drastic, but they are really in that relegation dogfight, and they do have to be careful. But Brighton always seem to be one of those teams that Wolves tend to struggle up against. We haven't got the best of records against them. We've never beaten Brighton in a top flight match as well. We've drawn 2, lost 7. Of course, we drew to them earlier in the season as well when Diogo Jota scored a brace. So we haven't got a great record against them. But looking at the form of these 2 teams, Brighton are on a really poor run of form recently. Haven't actually won in their last 8 games. Their last win came up against Bournemouth just after Christmas. Since then, they've drawn 1-1 with Chelsea, lost to Everton, drawn with Villa, lost to Bournemouth, drawn to West Ham, drawn to Watford, drawn to Sheffield United, lost to Palace. So there's a lot of draws in there, but they just haven't quite got the firepower to start winning games, Brighton. And they're not conceding massive goals. Against West Ham, they drew 3-3, and they did concede 3 against Bournemouth. But all their other games, they're really restricting the teams from scoring opportunities. So This is going to be the big task for Wolves. I think one of our biggest downfalls, especially last season, was being able to break the teams down that didn't want to play football against Wolves, that wanted to hold on and defend. Sort of similar to Newcastle earlier in the season. That was one of the more frustrating results for Wolves, because I think everybody in the stadium knew Wolves probably deserved and should have won that game. And I think if Wolves can, on Saturday, start playing football and break some of the teams down, like we have seen them do this season, this should be a pretty routine game. It should be a pretty routine game for Wolves. You're looking at a couple of individual players. Raul Jimenez looking great as per usual. He was quiet on Sunday, but we were so clinical against Spurs. I've not seen us that clinical in a long, long time. We took our chances. Jota again looking great. And Matt Doherty, the 3 players I'm probably going to pinpoint out, because Doherty, really since Willy Bolly's come back, hasn't it? He's just been able to express himself a little bit more, attack a little bit more, knowing he's got that support behind him. And even with Wolves playing a 5-3-2 or a 3-4-3, it's really helped Doherty. I think at both instances we're looking good as a team as well. And Nuno can almost, over the past few weeks, been able to look at that and knows he's able to rely now on either of those formations with the current squad that he's got. We've got depth on the bench that we can come on and bring on and strengthen the team like we saw with Pedro Neto the other day as well. So we have got the strength, and these are the sort of games now that Wolves really need to knuckle down and start getting results in, because seriously, top 4 or top 6 again, Fosun really want us to start playing European football regularly. And this season, we've got a huge chance of doing that again. Even better at this point, it looks even. We look like we've got an even stronger chance of getting it than it did look last season. With us being out of the FA Cup, of course, we've still got the Europa League to concentrate on, which we're looking great in at the moment. This Premier League, as it stands, is in great stead for Wolves to seriously make some history and try and get another European finish. But here are your thoughts from our followers on Twitter with some of their score predictions ahead of the game. And I'm going to go with 2-0 Wolves win. I back us to get a clean sheet again. We've been pretty good defensively, haven't we, the last few weeks or so. Backing us to get a clean sheet, and I'm not gonna pinpoint goal scorers because I'm normally completely wrong. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys. Be sure to hit the like button down below as well. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and fingers crossed Wolves can get another 3 points in the Premier League. Hopefully, if you go into the game, you'll enjoy it. And until next time, I'll see you all very, very soon.